Hello everybody, this is Havoc and welcome back to another Ancient Empires faction overview. Today we will be looking at the Kingdom of Iberia. This was a kingdom somewhere in the North Caucasus, right around present day Georgia. So you'll kind of guess what kind of units we'll see from there. So let's dive right on in. As you can see right off the bat, we have three general units. We have a Caucasus Warlord, excuse me. These guys have an armor or charge value of 5, melee offense of 10, melee defense of 12, armor value at 8, and morale at 14, making them a pretty solid heavy melee infantry unit. That charge value is actually going to be pretty good, all things considered, mixed in with that melee defense actually being pretty high, means they'll hold out in battle for pretty long, combined with that morale status. Next up we have Colchis Hoplites. These guys are going to be tier 3 heavy spear infantry. They have a charge value of 4, which is actually pretty good for a pikeman unit or hoplite unit. Melee offense is only at 8, but a melee defense of 14, an armor value of 10, excuse me, and a morale of 13 makes them a pretty heavy-duty melee spear infantry unit, meaning they will also hold out in battle, but a little more on the offensive side rather than the offensive side. And then last but not least, we have Cappadocian Royal Guard. Their charge value isn't as good, but they are pretty stacked nonetheless. Melee offense of 13, melee defense of 15, armor value of 12, and a morale at 14. Makes them pretty stinking heavy-duty units. Let's get down to the spear infantry. We have Cappadocian levies. These guys are going to be your tier 1 spear infantry. Pretty standard units. Not all that great, all things considered, but still a pretty good average unit, especially considering how cheap they are. Charge value of 2, melee offense of 5, melee defense of 9. Armor value at 5, and a morale of 6. Bumping it up here, we have Caucasus levies. These guys have a charge value of 2, melee offense of 5, defense at 9, armor value at 5, and a morale. These guys are the same units, they're just, they actually, I think, would probably be area of recruitment, possibly, but whatever. Next up, we have Coca Citizen Militia. These guys are going to be a lot better, actually, than their counterparts. Melee offense of 7, melee defense of 13, armor value at 8, and a morale at 8 will make them a pretty good standard heavy spear infantry unit. And then last but not least, we have Colchis Hoplites. Much as the general, they have excellent morale and a very good armor value. Let's bring it on down to the melee. We have Caucasus Mountain Men. These guys are going to have a not very good charge value. They have melee offense of 9, melee defense of 9, armor values at 6, and morale at 8, makes them a pretty stinking good light melee infantry unit. And let's see down here, there's something I haven't ever seen before. They can stalk. This unit can move hidden. Oh, we've seen this before. Okay. This unit can move hidden in any terrain, so they can literally be out in the open and not be seen until they're right on top of them, which is really nice. They have the snipe ability. This unit remains hidden while firing, which apparently he has a ranged attack, or else they wouldn't have put that on there. It ignores terrain, obviously can hide in scrap and forest, can hide in grass, and they have guerrilla deployment. This is one of the few units that I've seen where they have guerrilla deployment, meaning they of course can be put outside of the standard deployment range, making them a pretty awesome ambush unit. And then they also have campaign stealth. This unit can move around the campaign without being seen. Very good for reconnaissance, and I do believe the game mechanic of splitting into single troops, or at least into a captain with a single troop, for like a maximum of, or a minimum of 2 units, means you could do some pretty good reconnaissance with this guy without them ever risking to be seen or killed. Next up, we have Cappadocian Warriors. These guys are going to have an average morale, an average armor rating, but they do really have a high melee offense and a high melee defense. So while their armor value is 7 and a morale at 8, which is pretty good, they're really going to shine, considering they're only 310 talents, and they have such a high melee offense and defensive rating. It's very interesting, very nice. Next up, we have Caucasus Warlord. These guys are going to have a pretty good charge value, melee offense of 10, melee defense of 13, which is still, I mean, technically under what the Cappadocian Warriors were going to be. They do have an armor value at 8 and a morale of 14, meaning they will definitely be holding that line, and they do inspire their allies. Next up, we have Cappadocian Royal Guard. This is, of course, the same unit of the general. So they're just going to be really super padded, and you can recruit up to 4 of those in an army. Bow infantry, we have Cappadocian Archers. These guys are actually pretty good. Ranged offense of 4, missile range of 160. You don't want them to get into combat though. Charge value of 2, melee offense of 4, defense of 3, armor value of 5, and morale of 5 means they will not last long, and a solid charge will pretty much make them rout completely. And then you have Caucasus Archers, which is essentially the exact same thing. They are the same thing, just a different name and different style. And the same is going to go with the Slingers too. The Slingers have your average Slinger stats, to be completely honest. High ammunition, low range offense, missile range of 240. Charge value of 2, melee offense of 4, defense of 8, armor value at 5, and morale at 5 means these guys will not last very long in combat. Longer than their archer counterparts, but still not very long. Anyways. Skirmishers, we have Caucasus Tribesmen. These guys are going to have an ammunition rating of 4, ranged offense of 9, missile range of 70, charge value of 3, melee offense of 6, melee defense of 10, and armor value of 5, and a morale at 6 means they're going to be good for some back-end flanking and or attacking other skirmishers or archers, things of that manner, basically because they're not going to last very long in any other kind of situation. Down to melee cap, we have Caucasus Heavy Cavalry. These guys have charge value of 8, melee offense of 8, melee defense of 8, armor value at 8, and a morale at 14. They're going to be some pretty heavy-duty units that you'll want to employ into your arsenal. And then we have Coca Citizen Cab. These guys are just going to be buffed up cav. They're going to have a charge value of 8, melee offense of 8, melee defense of 9, higher armor value at 10, and actually less morale at 13 than their other melee counterpart. We have Cappadocian Heavy Cab for some heavy shock troops. Charge value of 18, melee offensive 7, melee defensive 7, armor value at 12, and morale at 11 means that they're almost on par in terms of melee defense as melee cav, in melee offense and melee defense. So that's very interesting, because usually they're not going to have as good stats, which they don't have as good stats, but it's near to them. And so that means that you're just going to have a really good job and a really good time getting into those engagements, but you will want to pull out per usual because they will rout eventually. And then we have Caucasus Cataphracts. These guys have a charge value of 19, melee offense of 6, melee defense of 5, armor value is at 16, which is incredible, and then that morale rating at 14 means they aren't going anywhere very quickly, in terms of routing, I should say. And then last but not least, we have 2 sets of Skirmisher Cav. We have Cappadocian Light Horse. And these guys are going to be Skirmisher Cav. Ammunition is 6, ranged offense of 10. Missile range is slightly better than their Skirmisher counterpart. Charge value of 2, melee offense of 4, melee defense of 12, which is really good. Armor value of 7, and a morale of 10. And they, of course, have Parthian shot and can fire whilst moving. Oh, excuse me. Alright guys, well, that's the end of the roster. Still a pretty fleshed out roster overall, and you know the drill. I will see you on the battlefield. Hello everybody, and welcome to the battlefield. We are playing, as I mentioned earlier, the Iberians, the Iberian Kingdom, the Kingdom of Iberia. And we are going to be playing against the Armenians. I thought this would be a pretty appropriate battle to fight these guys. We fought them, or played as them before, rather. And so it would be really interesting to see how well we do against them. So we have a very small engagement. I decided on a 20v20 battle this time. But you're still looking at close to 5,800 troops. Near on, probably actually closer to 2,000, or 6,000. 6,000. Doing a little bit of math issues here. So, as usual, let's go ahead and break down our army compositions, and we'll see where we go. First, I want to start off with these guys. These are these Caucasus Mountain Men. Now, I deployed them, let's see, my end of deployment zone was right in front of these hoplites. So, as you can see, I could have actually spawned, or actually had them go right here. But, I still want to try and use them for a sneak attack, just to see what they do. I mean, they're not very... they're good, they're just not super great, and they wouldn't last in a charge, but which is part of the reason why I didn't want to put them so far up, but they still do look really cool. I mean, look, they're hiding. They're hiding in plain sight. This is grass. They are hiding in grass, which is still just a really cool feature. It adds some depth and some cool things to the battlefield and to the campaign once the campaign is ready. Holding the front line, though, we have our Colchis Hoplites. Now, these guys, I mean, they're not going to be full-blown like what we saw with the other guys in terms of just big, huge, long spears, but they are really going to be good. As you can see, they're in that hoplite wall, so they're still going to be very, very effective. They're going to do great against the Cav, but they also are just going in general to be much better at holding the line. That shield spear phalanx gives them +3 shield defense, plus 100% entity mass, +2 attack against elephant, +5 against Cav, and a 20% missile block chance. So that's really going to be a solid formation once we get into this battle. Over here on my right flank, we have Cappadocian Warriors. This guy is holding an invisible spear. It's fantastic. These guys do look really, really cool. Those white shields mixed in with the blue stripes really, really, really look good. And they just look like a really cool unit overall. Next up, we have Cappadocian Royal Guard. And if you thought those guys looked good, these guys look even better. Just that whole hoplite system of armor going on, and just the colors that the Cappadocians, the Kingdom of Iberia is using is really, really solid and looks really, really good. Behind our hoplites, we have 2 units of Caucasus Archers. Now, hopefully these guys, I'm going to set them to flame shot. Hopefully these guys will be able to do some damage in the battle. We're going to do our best to protect them with our Cappadocian Royal Guard General behind them. So hopefully we will be able to make them last, which would be fantastic. Moving on to my Cav setup, I have 2 units of Caucasus Heavy Cab. These guys are going to be pretty cool looking. I like them a lot, and they should do quite a bit of damage. It's interesting that these guys have spears, considering that they are melee. Cappadocian Heavy Cab. Now these guys look really good. These do look like your typical pikemen with, I mean, they're heavy shock, so obviously they're going to be lances, but they do just look really, really sharp and really, really good. Cannot wait to use them. And then last but not least, we have our Caucasus Cataphracts. That overlapping scale armor looks really sweet. Yeah, just look at them. I love cataphracts. I've always loved cataphracts, and it's really cool just to see all the different area unit cataphracts there are in this mod. But as you can see, that overlapping scale armor is really, really, really cool. Alright guys, well, we might as well just start this battle, shall we? We shall. Alright, well, I'm going to move my whole infantry troop up to support these guys, just in case. Let's move, move, move. Actually going to come in over here. Now, if you'll remember, the cataphracts will always have that ranged unit, so that'll be very nice for them. They have our Minianar cataphracts. Ruh-roh. We may not survive this engagement, but let's get right here. Get that big mass as a good counter against those Cav. There we go. That should have been really good. Yep, that'll work for them. These guys are too busy trying to counter those cataphracts. We're going to move in and try and take out their skirmishers. Take those guys out. Man, they are being super aggressive. Super aggressive. It's crazy. Alright, these guys are splitting off. Did we lose that troop? Oh, we did. Man. Form up. Oh, man, they're going to get wrecked. And then we're getting hit from behind, man. These guys are employing some pretty sweet, good tactics. I'm impressed. I really, really am. Hit those guys in the back, making that unit rout. Let's hit behind here. We're gonna have to be a little bit more brutal with them. Because we're losing units left and right. Get out of there. Get back there. Man, this is not a good battle for me. If those guys would actually rout, that would be fantastic. What have I got going on here? We can go ahead and get our general engaged because I have a feeling we're going to need him in the battle. Peel out there. Get our 2 units of shock cav in. And then we're just going to hit these guys in the back. There's no time to mess around with ranged. Yeah, they're just picking me apart. It's cataphracts, man. I should have paid attention to the army setup. You other guys, you're gonna have to actually like legit set up. Yeah, they're picking apart my cav over here. Here we go. We're gonna have to save my archers. Here we go. We're going to actually charge these guys. I'm sorry I'm really not getting any close-ups. This battle is moving super fast. Get them a morale debuff. Let's get my spearmen over here. Don't rout, dude. Don't rout. Oh, my word. They are taking me out. Apparently my cataphracts aren't doing jack crap. Come on. Get on it. Get on it. Come on. Form up. Hold the line. There we go. This is not looking too good for us right now. You know what? Form up. You need to form up at this moment. Hold the line. There's the enemy general. If we can ever get built up enough, let's get you out of there. We could easily probably take him out. I just don't have that opportunity right now. Because I'm fighting these bros right here. Get out. Hit those Nahrar swordsmen. There's their general. He's routed. Oh, very nice. That's helpful. That is very helpful. Okay, let's get over here. Hold that flank. We're going to move over to this side. Here we go. Not anything super slow-mo. Let's actually, we could. There's enough engagements going on right now where super slow-mo could work. Our cataphracts, they've been charging into there. I'm kind of disappointed the cataphracts haven't really been doing that great. I don't know what the deal is. Over here, we've routed those guys a little bit. We're going to move in closer to our parent group over there. Here we go. This is some good engagement. I want to get a good charge in to these guys. Actually, we're going to get a charge into these guys, and then I'm going to get some good screenshots, hopefully. I'm going to move in like this so that way we don't get hit by those cataphracts. We're actually going to get out of there. Here's a good charge. Here's what we were wanting. Spears have been laid down. Yep, they're looking back a little too late. That was great. They just looked back and, oh crap. There we go. That should have a pretty devastating effect on their morale. Let's move over this way. And then we'll hit play. There we go. I knew that would happen. Go after them. You guys press onto these other dudes. We're going to rout them. Very nice. Very nice. Set up. Hit those Armenian Romanized infantry in the back. They're going to give a morale debuff to all those troops. And we're going to hit those cataphracts in the back. Very, very nice. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Let's go after those Armenian horse archers. We're going to get our Cappadocian Royal Guard. And then we're actually going to draw our Colchis Hoplites out of the battle as well. And I'm not saying we have this in the back, because we don't. But I do think we have a significantly better chance now. These guys are engaged, so we're actually going to try and hit those horse archers while we can. Turn right around. See if we can't hit those guys. Nope. Nope. Get out of there. Get out of there. Do not engage. Get those Armenian archers. There we go. Why aren't you taking out those Armenian bow cab quicker? They're just bow cab. That's all they are. Alright, so we're going to engage those cataphracts. They're kind of getting a little desperate now. Go after the horse archers. That's all I can say. They are the cataphracts are really good at countering. I will say that. They're very, very good job at countering. We're actually going to move over here, and I'm actually going to move you right over here. See if we can't get some good flanking in. Those cataphracts are starting to rout. We've routed those guys, those horse archers. You are going to toggle skirmish mode because you won't make that. Sweet. Okay, so one set of cataphracts are gone. He is routing, or close to. He's wavering. These guys are wavering. They're all wavering. There we go. End of the battle. Whew! That was close. That was a very close victory. Alright guys, so we deployed just under 3,000. We lost 1,100, but we were, these guys weren't too great. I need to figure out how to use them a little better. I mean, I knew they wouldn't be good. I just wanted to show off the fact that they could deploy out of the deployment zone, and that they could be hidden pretty much no matter what. But overall, we did really, really good. My cataphracts shined very much. Their cataphracts did very well, and I thought I was going to lose against those guys. I mean, it's been a while since I've played an entire battle where the enemy still had cav left, and that's what I love. I love having those difficult situations to really take them on effectively. But we did pretty darn well. I'm not going to lie. These Colchis Hoplites did good. Based on the numbers, looks like some Cappadocian Royal Guard got in some good as well. Our general did good at a little over 40 kills. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Kingdom of Iberia, the faction overview and the battle. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The release is just over a week. Actually, it's right at a week. It should be released this coming Friday, or this next Friday, not this coming Friday, because that's today. The next Friday, if anything else happens, I'll let you guys know. Maybe a surprise in there, maybe not, just depends. But for everyone, regardless, it should be released next Friday. Alright guys, well again, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next Ancient Empires episode. This is Havoc, and I'm out of here. Peace!